my name is Nemesis Paradox, aka Nemesis. Welcome to the stream / video, which is going to be on a YouTube. So, welcome any YouTube viewers. Right, so yes, these are my predictions for Money in the Bank 2021 because I got money in the bank. Money. We will start with the order that it has it on the list here. So, Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston. I love Kofi. I do. I love the New Day. I love all of it, right? But Raw was got a pin on Lashley. Never a good sign, because whatever happens on the show tends to be the opposite of what happens on the pay-per-view. Plus, as much as I love Kofi, I don't see them putting him over Lashley. I think they're going to bring another big boy out or something like that to go over Lashley. So, unless they do Goldberg, which if they do, fuck off, just fuck off, no. Kofi will win a main title again, even if it's not the World Championship. But, in my opinion, Kofi is not going to win this one, unfortunately. I'd like to see him win this one, but I don't think he's going to take it. So, in my opinion, this one is going to Lashley. I don't think they're going to follow up with Bobby and Drew for a while, because I think with Drew, they're entering him into a feud with Jinder. So because they're entering him into a feud with Jinder, I think they're kind of listening to the fans on that and are stepping away from the whole Drew and Bobby thing. So I think for this one, it is going to be Kofi losing to Lashley. So my prediction for the World Championship match, WWE Championship match is Bobby Lashley. After that, we've also got the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Edge. Now, I love Edge, right? And I sincerely wanted Edge to take it. With the whole build-up and how they were going with this and how they're running with this, I really, really, really wanted Edge to win this. But, it doesn't look like Edge is going to be around for a while, which is good. But, I don't think they're going to give this championship to Edge. I don't think they're going to let him go over Reigns. I think what they're doing is they're using him to push Reigns, which isn't that shocking. Edge is a legend. Edge deserves the legend title, absolutely. Like, Edge is one of my absolute favorites. Also, my first crush. Well, in wrestling, not my first wrestler, but my first crush. However, again, I don't see Edge winning this. I'd like to see him winning this. Again, he went over the Usos at the SmackDown. So, from the looks of things, it's going to be Edge losing and Reigns retaining. Reigns is fucking wonderful to watch, so I'm absolutely down for this. I really, really, really like what they've done with Reigns. I think it's about time what they've done with Reigns. Whether he should have done it back then, because everyone's going, well, they should have done it back then. No. Not necessarily. I don't think Reigns had the skills back then to pull this off in the same way. Not that he wasn't good. He was good. But I don't think he had the mic skills and stuff like that and the confidence at that point. I think he's developed the skills to make him as good as he is now. And with Heyman there as well, who's just so good. Like, Heyman is one of my absolute favorite things in wrestling. That man can sell ice to the Eskimos. That man is a legend. That man is so good. He can push pretty much any wrestler, pretty much. Like, He tried so hard with Curtis Axel, but it was not happening. Whereas Reigns was good enough, but he needed something not similar. But I think with Heyman being with Reigns, it's created this kind of, oh, well, if he saw something in Brock Lesnar, then he now sees something in Reigns, and that gives him a little bit more legitimacy. And then obviously Reigns has developed so much as well. I never saw Heyman on commentary with JR. I can imagine him being very, very good. But yeah, Heyman's he's wonderful. He's just brilliant at everything that he does. He can sell anything. And I don't just mean as a salesman, I mean just in every single way. Like, he is so fucking good. Plus, he throws in a little shoot here and there. He knows how to work the crowd. Like, that man is just fucking brilliant. And I will just how amazing he is to the end of my days. I honestly, right, go check out his interview with Inside the Ropes. That is fascinating. That is really, really, really interesting and absolutely worth a watch if you get a chance. It's a very interesting interview. He's pretty honest on it. Still manages to do the Heyman gimmick as well. Like, I'm pretty certain that Heyman is just Heyman, in all honesty. But like, he manages to just hit both. And just honestly, if you get a chance, watch the Inside the Rope stuff. It is very, very interesting. I am going for Reigns over Edge, but that's nothing as well. So it has been rumored about Edge versus, for a while now, Edge versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. But there is also a little tease. Now, this is something that is going to probably happen. I don't know if it's going to be Seth doing it, but Seth said, my time has come, my time is now, in a backstage like thing between him and Sonya and Adam. So I think that it's pretty much confirmed that Cena is going to be back. If he's not back at Money in the Bank, which is highly unlikely with them teasing it so fucking soon, because they're doing a lot, and I mean a lot, of foreshadowing lately. So when they did the tease for when they did the tease for Damian Priest going against having zombies as the Lumberjacks, that was teased because he said, "Bring me superstars, bring me aliens, bring me zombies. I don't care." And we got zombies. There's been other ones as well, but yeah. So it looks like. And apparently this has happened before as well when Cena's been coming. Other wrestlers have quipped the time is up or time has come, time is now thing. So Cena coming back is pretty much guaranteed. Apparently his filming schedule as well, because he got asked about it, shouldn't conflict with him coming back as well, even though he is starting to film something else, I think in August. But it looks like Cena will be back. If not at Money in the Bank, then definitely for SummerSlam. I believe it will be Money in the Bank, though, where he will make an appearance. Which could potentially be... Yeah, boy! Thank you for noticing. I think Cena shows at the SmackDown before SummerSlam and him and Roman go at SummerSlam. That is also a possibility. But my opinion on this match is going to be Reigns is going to beat Edge. So moving on to the Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. This is a very interesting match because the first time Charlotte and Rhea faced each other, Charlotte won, took the NXT title off her. Now, that gets even more interesting because Rhea was not meant to lose. Rhea was meant to win and get a major push at that point. Rhea lost. And that damaged her push like fuck. I am so glad that she won the title at Mania. Yes, okay, it steamrolled over Asuka, who, let's face it, her Mania stuff, right? All brilliant matches, but fuck, they don't like her winning at Mania, do they? They do not like Asuka winning at Mania. Jesus. They've got a thing about that. So, Rhea, where was it? Yes, Rhea was meant to win at Mania. So, no, Sasha, they don't like Sasha winning at Mania either, do they? They've got something about those two winning at Mania. They're just like, ha, no. But, so there's interesting stuff going around. So there's some talk about a Charlotte-Becky feud, so Charlotte potentially winning this match. Back to Charlotte and Rhea. Okay, so the last, again, Charlotte and Rhea have been feuding on Raw with Rhea having to use like little tricks against Charlotte to kind of beat her and stuff. And I don't see Charlotte winning this. And I know it sounds really fucking weird because Charlotte wins, lol. It's another one like Reigns wins, lol. Cena wins, lol. But in my opinion, I think that Rhea needs to run with this for a while. Plus, Rhea needs a win over Charlotte to make it somewhat level. So they can go, oh, like we're like 1-1 on championship matches. Plus, it's going to be like a payback and a payoff for what happened at Mania last year and blah, blah, blah. So it makes much more sense, especially because we're in the seems to be going in a much more like NXT new generation kind of direction for Rhea to win this one. If Rhea does not win this one, I am going to be fuming because Rhea has needed this push, finally got the push, finally got elevated, and then got fucking dropped from it. And it's just tight as anything, right? In my opinion, right, I do like Bianca, but Bianca has been rushed to the top. Right? They went, yes, you're on SmackDown for like a couple of months, and now you've won Rumble, and now you've won Mania, blah blah blah. Whereas Rhea, like, she started to get that push, get that momentum, came up into things, so went pretty much automatically into a feud with Charlotte, was meant to come on the main roster, was meant to get pushed like that, blah 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 blah. And instead, they just kind of drop her. She doesn't even win the Rumble. None of it. And it's like, wow, they fucking killed her push. Like, majorly killed her push. So Rhea needs to maintain this. But I completely agree, Blackheart, right? They really, really, really do need to get her acting like a badass again because they have got her doing her promos in the WWE way again. So every single syllable is done like this so they can be WWE champion. And it's like, why? Do you know what, Dragon? That website exists. It is a real website, right? That website is genuine. But all it is the picture that you saw on SmackDown. That's all it is. I'll show you. Hang on. Hang on. When it wants to work. There you go. That is what the website is. But you can't do anything with it. It's literally just that. It's just a JPEG. However, in my opinion, they have missed a trick, right? I genuinely think that what they could have done with this was make it a charity donation website. So when you click on it, you click on the Corbin Fund me. It takes you to, like, I don't know, Connor's Cure or something like that. And the people who go to donate, you can donate to a charity. And I really think that they missed the mark by not doing that with it. Because there will be people out there who are like, go on then. Exactly, Tom. Rhea on the main roster has been so disappointing. It's like I haven't even bothered watching Rhea in NXT, NXT UK, or NYC. Yeah, like I'd be interested. I'm really going to be interested if Alexa wins this because I want to see Alexa versus Rhea. Because if they're going to do the Nightmare versus the like witchy girl thing, whatever the fuck they're trying to do with Alexa, because let's face it, whatever the fuck they're trying to do with Alexa is not working. Right? They had so many opportunities. Lily, the idea is there, right? The little thing that they did with Shayna was interesting, okay? Like, Shayna sold that fucking story pretty well. And then it came to the match, and they had a match. No! I want fireballs! I want fucking Kane shit going on. I want fucking Demon Alexa, right? She's gonna be all this witchcraft and wizardry bollocks. Then fucking do something with it. I know it's going to be harder to do that kind of stuff in front of an audience because obviously you can't just cut away and keep cutting back. It's a bit more awkward. So obviously when they do the lights out thing, they just roll under the ring most of the time. So they can just pretty much just move from segment to segment with that. Lights out stuff's easy. Lights out stuff is basic. But when it comes to stuff like that, like, it's not the same. Lily is supposed to be more than what she is, but they're doing nothing with it. They need to fuck about with it a bit more. Make it like, I don't know, like the Fiend, like, not the Fiend, but like a demon in a doll's body. Make sure that somebody's knocked out and then just the doll is there and she's not, like, stuff like that. The way they're doing it now, they're wasting it. They really need to think of something to do with it, or else it's just going to become another gimmick that's going to disappear. I mean, if they make Alexa, I don't know, like, potentially start going back to being Alexa, and then kind of mess about with it when the Fiend comes back. Alexa is a great talker. Like, she's got sass and she's got attitude. Like, I say, not the biggest fan of her actual wrestling. I like her flippy stuff and blah blah blah, but like her like actual strikes, not huge on. But yeah, she knows how to speak. She's very, very good at her in-ring promos. Like, I can't deny that. She's very good at that. I'd be intrigued to see it for a little while. Hang on. Let's skip that because that riff sounds so much like God gave rock and roll to you. I don't know what I'd like to see her doing. Tell you what else has pissed me off with Alexa lately. The whole Nikki Cross thing. They've been with each other in the ring for the last few Raws, and there has been nothing about their feud. Nothing about how they fell out. No one, neither character, shall we say, neither wrestler seems arsed about it. What the fuck is that? Yeah, almost a superhero. Which people are like, nah, about. And honestly, I loved her as Sanity Nikki. I like her as the crazy fucking mental one. Now she seems like a bit of a geek, which is fine. But it just doesn't feel very Nikki. But at the same time, though, she wanted to do that. This was her suggestion. This was her choice. So, this is what Nikki wanted to do. So, like, you can't argue with the girl. She wants to do it. She wants to have fun with it. She seems like she is. That's fine. Great. Go for it. But, I would be interested to see them, like, it's in your... Let me restart that. So, what they're doing with it is kind of, yeah, she did come up with it. So, like, you can't go, hey, you can't do that. I don't think it's going to ruin her career. Because, I mean, this is what people have said, like, it's very much like Molly Holly, Super Molly, Hurricane kind of thing. That's another foreshadowing that they did. They called Nikki Cross their little Hurricane. The WWE's resident Hurricane on commentary. So that was another foreshadowing for Nikki becoming a superhero. She didn't call this. I think she might have been released this time next year. So she was called through. I've had no idea what to do. Yeah. Like, they kind of stuck it with Alexa because they were like, fuck it. There's something to do with her. And then they had her with them for a while. And then that obviously fell because of the Fiend thing. And that's fine. But then they were like, what do we do with it now? And they just kind of left it to one side. So first night it was crazy, nothing else. Alexa and Nikki asked the team up. Oh, fair enough. That's fair. I did not know that. That's okay. That's cool. Well, if they like working with each other, then that's cool. I mean, like, they did work well together as a team. And they seem to get along pretty well. But I don't know. We need a program for Nikki, really. Just because it's the noughties, though, doesn't make any difference, though. It can still work in this day and age. In fact, if anything, it can work in this day and age even more with the, like, heights of, I don't know, like Marvel and DC and that, like, really, like, taking off. You absolutely have the chance to be able to do that. Like, you can totally make that something. A bit too geeky, kind of. I do miss a partnership. Look like we're heading back that way eventually. That could be fun. Maybe. I don't think they're going to do it yet. If they do it, maybe she'll get like hypnotized or something. I feel like that's the only way they're going to do that at the moment, because they need to sort out what came before with the whole breakup split thing, and they need to sort out what happened, what's going on with the whole Alexa thing, and work out where that's going forward. So like that's another thing as well with the Alexa thing. Like, what are they doing with this whole hypnotizing thing? Because apparently she can hypnotize people and make them do what she wants. I mean, that could be an interesting thing as well. Something like she hypnotizes Nikki. Nikki ends up doing like the kind of stuff for her and breaks out of it, all superhero like rising kind of thing. That could be interesting. It interviews Nikki typing up a Batman and Joker thing to Alexa. Oh! Wait. Hold up. Didn't Batman have a thing of a Harley Quinn? Yeah. I mean, if they go for the Harley Quinn thing, we might be in trouble. I mean, I don't think either are that way, considering I know that she's with Killian still, isn't she? But, well, Damon now, about to be in Big Damon, which makes me so happy, I'm not going to lie. I think fucking wasted Killian Dane in WWE as well. But the Batman and Joker thing, I don't know how they're going to run that, though, because, again, Alexa's got nothing established right now. And with Alexa having nothing established, what are you going to do with it? No, because I was thinking Batman and Harley Quinn, and I was like, wait. That's a whole different thing. But again, they need to establish. They need to establish, and it's just, they've not got anything in place properly. I mean, it's going to take time to see where they're going to go with it, but give them a chance. Right, where were we with these matches? I can't remember what match we were talking about now. Right, Rhea versus Charlotte. I start a lot of things. If it happened, just blame me. Lily made me do it. Rhea, yeah, I'm back. So, yes. Like to see Rhea versus Alexa feud if they do it interestingly. I know it is the Nightmare versus like the Witchy thing, which could work. If not, I'm okay with it. I'd be intrigued to see how she would cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's her in the character. That might help to get character development as well. So there's a few things that could go with this. However, winner for this match, I am going to go for Rhea. I don't think they're going to do the constant Charlotte is the nemesis that she can never beat. I think they're going to give it Rhea. I really hope that they do. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I am fucking looking forward to this one. This looks so good, and this is going to have some amazing spots. This is going to have some fucking great spots, and the lads are just going to go at it. We have got Ricochet versus John Morrison. Johnny Drip Drip. Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Seth Rollins. Now that is a lineup just in general for a regular pay-per-view, right? In like individual matches or separate matches. But fuck, all together, holy crap. That is going to be a fucking great match, right? They're going to go at it. They're going to blend into spots so fucking seamlessly. They're going to do some absolutely fucking crazy shit, and you know it. Ricochet, thank fuck he's finally being pushed. How long did it take? Ricochet is so good. Ricochet is a fucking ninja, right? That man needs so much more praise than he gets. And I know he's a flippy boy, but I love the flippy boys, right? And him and Morrison have been working some fucking great matches on Raw. They have been doing some really good matches on Raw. Oh, I'm not thinking that he's going to win. I'm just happy that he's finally getting a, like, spotlight kind of thing on him rather than just being Cedric's mate and Apollo's mate and that dude wandering around the back just like Damian Priest, who is getting wasted so much. I really want them to do something with Damian Priest. Damian Priest is getting nothing. He's been in gimmick matches and then he's just been wandering around backstage and he's just like, no, because now he's turned into the Drifter. Give him something to do, please, for the love of God. Damien is very fucking talented, very fucking good. His strikes are beautiful, and they do nothing. But Damian Priest, please do something with Damian Priest. At least get him some, I don't know, the US Championship. Actually make that happen. Give him the fucking championship. Make him reign. Make him do something with it. Because there is potential there, but fuck. So, Morrison and Ricochet, I don't know about winning this. I think they pushed him mostly because they're flippy boys and they can get that kind of like high-flying kind of stuff going on Raw to kind of build up to Money in the Bank to get you like really hooked and really interested. Drew, I think they're entering into something with Jinder, so I think they're finally starting to pull back a bit on the whole Drew going for it. Shinsuke, I don't know what they're doing with this Corbin thing. I think they're bringing it to an end. I think they're closing it now. So I'm pretty certain that Shinsuke's... I'd like to see Shinsuke win this. That would be really fucking cool. Come in with his fucking King entrance and shit. Go back to that kind of stuff. Which he needs to do. That'd be so cool to see these Wrestle Kingdom entrances. I don't think they're going to give it Drew. Big E's another one that's been talked about. I don't think they're going to give it Big E. I don't know what they're doing with Big E. There was talks of him rejoining the New Day, but I don't know if that's happening. I'd be happy to see him rejoin the New Day because they definitely like work as an advantage to each other. And Rollins, right? Rollins ain't winning this. Apart from the fact that there's a potential feud heading there between Seth and Edge and Seth and Cena. Probably not Cena, but it's a little foreshadowing, maybe, but it's unlikely, but possible. Especially considering they've already kind of teased it on SmackDown with Edge having a little banter, I guess, little trash talk back. Rollins is not getting it. Rollins had a major hype package on SmackDown going, he cashed it in this time, he did this, he did that, he did that. And then he won the Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown as well. There is no chance. There is no chance. He's not getting that. Oh, you really miss your emotes, don't you, Dragon? No, he's being overhyped to win. When somebody gets overhyped to win, they're not going to win. So, at least majority of the time. So, that being said, I haven't covered somebody yet, and that's Riddle. Riddle is not doing anything right now. Not really. We've got this whole RK Bro thing, which is going nowhere. It started, it's building, and it's meant to be that Riddle can do this without Randy. Randy's not here. Riddle wins the briefcase. Riddle can turn around to Orton and go, look what I did, bro. Look what I did. Blah, blah, blah. Sets shit up. So you know where I'm going. My prediction for this is Riddle. Because I think that's where they're going with it. Because so far, this storyline has stuttered and gone nowhere. And I think they're either going to end up cashing in for the tag titles. That is much more far-fetched, but possible. Or, well, I don't think that's going to take it from him, but it might create a feud. The tag team isn't quite working. He's taking him under his wing. They've kind of ended up more mocking each other, or it's getting more and more pissed with him. But we're also going for like an odd couple thing. Or there's all this stuff of like, he could do some very interesting things with the case. Hopefully they're not going to do things with the case like they did with Otis, because fuck. Although Otis, right, is looking so good lately. Oh, the way they, right, I wasn't happy with them taking the case off him, but I think what they've done by doing this Alpha Academy thing and making him seem more legitimate and fierce is what he needed to break out of the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? Is what he needs to break out the whole, like, oh, he's just the comic relief, or he's just a funny guy. It's propelling him. So he sees like a legitimate threat. It probably is going to be all his pipes. But they're not going to do it like that. They're probably going to do something similar to Otis a little bit. It's probably where he keeps all his whoppers, if we're going off the whole Burger King references. However, I am thinking that Riddle will take this. I would be, though, really fucking happy if Seth got it, because I seriously want a feud between Seth and Reigns, because all that savagery in one ring will be fucking beautiful to watch. It revisits the whole Shield thing, so they got something to build up, blah, 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 blah. But fuck, I really want to see it. They are both on form with their savagery lately, and it would be sick to watch them just try and bounce that off each other. But WWE, for starters, don't like doing heel versus heel or face versus face. They're very funny about it. Not unless it's like a little match on Raw or a little match on SmackDown. However, with Seth already heading into a feud, potentially, and Reigns, don't know who they're actually going to get to kind of do that with him. I'm genuinely thinking Riddle. I think Riddle might take the briefcase. Right, Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross versus Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega versus Natalya versus Tamina. Now, we've already touched on the women's ladder match, and we've already mentioned about Alexa. Now, I've already mentioned that Alexa is also my pick as well, because I think she's right. With the women's, for me, it is between Naomi and Alexa. Asuka won it last year. They don't really tend to like doing repeat stuff. I think they're trying to like end her being part of the whole Charlotte like Rhea feud for now, or at least step back from it. I don't think Asuka's going to take it again. Although one thing that really pissed me off, I think it was on Raw that they said it, like, Asuka knows what it's like to hold the briefcase and, you know, wait for that moment. It's like, no, she doesn't. She won the briefcase and they're going to give the title belt the next night. No, she does not know about it. She does not know nothing about it. She's won it once and then got the title from it. Liv is not winning this. Again, it's the whole... You can see she's kind of entering into something with Carmella. You can see that she's building towards something like... She's getting a push. Absolutely. And she deserves it. She needs one. Little bit of the same issues I have with Alexa. She can be a bit like... So I'm looking for overly safe. I call it girly and I hate calling it girly because a lot of women do not fight girly. I can tell you that. But... she at the end of SmackDown this week, she stood there pointing up at the briefcase, smiling and stuff. So again, she's probably not going to win it. If she does, granted, shock, but unlikely. Nikki, I think she'll get close. I think she'll get close to getting it. But I think they'll play it to the whole almost a superhero thing. So I don't think Nikki's taking it. Oh, Liv versus Zelina or Liv versus Carmella, like, properly, it's going to happen. Like, Liv has already done the whole Carmella thing and beat her and blah, 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 to get into the Money in the Bank thing. And yeah, okay, so that's technically been done. They may still revisit it. Although I don't know if it's going to be something similar to what's happened with Morrison and Ricochet, where basically this feud is happening just to propel the Money in the Bank stuff. Because they like to put in mini feuds. Those mini feuds can happen in the middle of the match. So it can be like, oh my God, these two have had problems with each other for the last few weeks. So I think that, hang on, let's skip that one because that starts talking about something I don't really want covering on this. I think that I don't think they're going to push Zelina yet, although there is a chance of Zelina as well, so that she can look like a force to be reckoned with now that she's back again. And potentially be a little thank you for her coming back as well. So it's a little bit like, I don't know. It's Natalya versus Tamina, the tag champs. Now, you could argue that having one of them win the Money in the Bank can either creating like a whole Miz and Morrison thing like they did when Miz had the Money in the Bank, or it will create a split for Natalya and Tamina and give them a feud. However, I don't see that happening. I think they're going to stay tag champs for a while. To be honest, I don't know how much I agree with them being in the Money in the Bank thing in the first place, because of the fact that they are the tag champs, and I feel like every championship should be on a pay-per-view. They are your championships. They are your fucking, like, big fucking gold fucking represent them. Anyways, yes, right, that's what I was saying. So Natalya and Tamina. Natalya and Tamina, I had this thing about championships, right? Two things. One, they should never be on your pre-show. Ever. Right? Your pre-shows should just be a little match to tease, but be big enough on the card so that way it'll get people in to watch it. Don't put your fucking championships on there. Because your championships are the most important things in that company. They're the thing that everybody is fighting for. Right? Your pre-show, most people don't watch it. But having a little match on there is nice to make you kind of like want to watch it and feel like you might be missing out on something. So I understand why they put them on there, but they should not be on there because they are supposed to be prestigious and high value, and sticking them on the pre-show devalues the championship, in my opinion. Also, not having it on the pay-per-views, again, it's like these are what everyone is gunning for in the company. These are the matches that you want to see. Having the odd title match on SmackDown and Raw is fine, but your big fucking pay-per-views are where they should be, and it's where they should always be. So in my personal opinion, I do not like it when they're not on the show. They're meant to have significance. They're meant to have importance. Give them the significance. Give them the importance. How are you going to do that? Having it on your big show, having it being the thing that people are challenging for, having it making people want to win it at that pay-per-view. Build it up, make it big. That's fair, Dragon. So, Natalya and Tamina, no, I don't think either of them is going to get it. Morgan, I'd like to see, but it's very unlikely. Alexa is a shock win. Like, people probably aren't expecting her to win it. I don't know how she's going to win it, and if she does win it, then that will be a very interesting thing as well, to see how they're going to play that, or if they're even going to do anything relating to that. Asuka, again, I think they're pulling her out of this. So it's between Naomi, Alexa, and I don't know. I'm torn on so many of them, because Naomi, they need to give us something to do, especially since they dropped it from Lana. Alexa is a kind of shock win-ish. Nikki, almost a superhero, kind of pushes the whole superhero thing. And Zelina gives her like a kind of thank you for coming back, and she's gonna be great at cutting promos for it, and blah blah blah. But I'm still sticking with Alexa. I still think that Alexa is going to get it, because I think they want to push her, but they don't know what to do with her. I think it's shit on Naomi if she doesn't win it, because they need to give Naomi something to do, because she's currently doing nothing. She's pretty much just floating around at this point. I want to see them do something with her, but right now they're doing nothing with her, and they need to. So yes, we're hoping Alexa Bliss for the win on this one. Last two matches. Right. What was I up to? Let's have a look. It does not want to load. The Tag Team Championships. So AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders. Now, this is very interesting as well. So on Raw, I can't remember which one, but one of them pinned AJ and won. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, one of them pinned AJ and won. One of them pinned Omos and lost. Now, I think with these Tag Team Championships, they've given them to AJ and Omos at WrestleMania for two reasons. One, they wanted AJ on the card. They didn't know what to do with him, so they put him in this. They wanted him a high-profile match, so they gave him the Tag Team Championship match. Why the hell not? Plus, they wanted to do something with Omos. So they gave Omos this. So, they wanted to push him at Mania, so they gave him this as well. However, the Viking Raiders have not been on for a very long time. Now, maybe they need a build-up before they win it, but we've also got Jinder's boys looking for something to do as well. Now, obviously, they're using them to beat down on Drew, along with Mason T-Bar. Now, Mason T-Bar, interesting. I don't think we'll do anything with them for a while. I think it's funny that when Dio turned up as Mace, they're like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? What, you mean that nearly that really fucking tall guy with dreads who was on commentary with you for months? You don't recognize him at all. Not even a little bit. Come on. There's no way you don't recognize it. That's Dio. But there you could enter into something with Jinder's boys with AJ and Omos to put them over being stronger than AJ and Omos. So there is a chance that AJ and Omos could retain, but it would give the Viking Raiders a push now at the back and put the Viking Raiders back on the map after the stuff they were doing with the Street Profits, which I thought was fun. One thing you can do in wrestling that you can't do in most of the theatre or sports or anything like that is have some really wacky shit and it just be it's just part of the show. Not all of it, obviously, but majority of the time, yeah. So I think that there is a chance that the Viking Raiders may take this. I think that is what they're going to do with it. I think that they like having AJ and Omos being champions. I think that they have this whole thing of Omos being unstoppable. I think though that if they are going to win, Omos isn't going to be the one getting pinned unless they do like a double pin on him. I think what's going to happen is that AJ is going to get pinned by one of them, and somehow they're going to take out Omos together. So my opinion on this is that the Viking Raiders will get the championships. That is not guaranteed. There is very much a chance that they might use AJ and Omos to propel Jinder's boys. But I think that the Viking Raiders are going to win. Especially with them getting the last loss on Omos. I think they're going to find some way to take him out, keep Omos looking strong, and then have AJ be the one pinned. Because AJ is going to look strong no matter what. Right? Unless you start doing to him what they do to Jeff Hardy, don't ever get started on the whole Jeff Hardy bullshit. Just don't. That's a really fucking long conversation. I genuinely believe that AJ is very difficult to knock down from like the pillar that he's on. He's way too high on the pedestal. So I think that AJ and Omos are going to lose the titles and the Viking Raiders are going to take it. Mysterios versus the Usos. Right. I would love, and I mean I would fucking love to see the Usos get it and have just like a dominant bloodline with Reigns. But in my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have it as a stepping stone for a feud with Reigns looking down the Usos for that loss of that championship, for the loss of Money in the Bank, for the loss of Money in the Bank, for the loss of Money in the Bank. I think they're going to have that because they're already starting to show cracks and show Jimmy and Jay do that. The other option is that they might have Jimmy and Jay win. Thing is, though, hello, Steve, you're right. The thing is, though, I think that with the other issue that we've got is that I think WWE's going to be kind of pissed off with Jimmy right now with what happened. If you don't know, he got arrested for a DWI, I think. Obviously, he got released and blah, 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 blah. But WWE are not going to be happy about that. Look at how they reacted with Jeff and his like DWI before he came back. So yeah, where was I? Yes. So WWE is not going to be happy with Jimmy one little bit. So I genuinely believe that Jimmy and Jay, I don't think they're going to win it. Also, again, classic pay-per-view stuff. Now, sometimes, though it's not AEW, sometimes what happens on the thing before can be like misleading and try and make it so that you think that isn't going to happen, and it does. But a lot of the time, they're structured a certain way. So the Mysterios ended up beating the crap out of the Usos. Jimmy and Jay, I don't think are going to get it. There is a chance because of the fact that Edge and Ray and Dom ended up going over them, and like all three of them went over him. So it might be too misleading for all three of them to wait. Actually, no, wait. Oh, the Mysterios got knocked down by the Usos. Sorry, my bad. I was fucking touting that. No, sorry. The Mysterios got knocked down by the Usos at the thing, and then Edge ended up going over Roman Reigns. So, it's fine. Don't worry. So, Mysterios are more likely to retain. There is a chance of the Usos getting it, but personally, I don't think that is going to be what happens. I think the Mysterios are going to retain the championships. Then with all the gold would be sick, like a full like championship bloodline, very much like the Shield when they were in their most dominant phase, when they had the tag championships in the US. Something like that would be very fucking cool, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think more than anything, they're going to be pissed off with Jimmy as well. So even if they were going to win, I don't know if they're going to be happy with that. We might even see Jimmy get written off at some point. That's not guaranteed, right? But we know what they're like with wrestlers who end up getting DWIs and DUIs and blah, blah, blah. They are very fucking about it. So, in my opinion, I am going for the Mysterios retaining. That's not guaranteed, but that is my pick. It's funny though, because the last time I did betting on wrestling, like you can bet on pay-per-views here and there, was the Rumble, not last year, the year before. I think it was the Rumble. And I got 14 out of 15 matches correct. So, running through the card, these are my predictions. For one final rundown. WWE Championship match, Bobby Lashley versus Kofi. I am going for my pick is Bobby Lashley. I'd love to let this work. Come on. Raw Women's Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Edge. My pick, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Raw Women's Championship, Rhea versus Charlotte. My pick, Rhea. Money in the Bank ladder match, Ricochet versus John Morrison versus Riddle versus Drew McIntyre versus Big E versus Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins. My pick, Riddle. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross versus Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega versus Natalya versus Tamina. My pick, Alexa Bliss. Raw Tag Team Championship, AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders. My pick, Viking Raiders. SmackDown Tag Team Championship, Mysterios versus Usos. My pick, Mysterios. That is what I'm going for. There's a lot of names on the card. It's a good list. But that is my, boom. That is my choices. I could be very fucking wrong. If that does happen, then the only championship that would be changing hands would be the Raw Tag Team Championship. Everybody else would retain. Little bonus predictions. Rhea versus Charlotte, potential DQ. Unlikely, I don't think they'll do that at pay-per-view, but potential DQ. AJ Styles and Omos, I believe that AJ is going to be the one who gets pinned to keep Omos looking strong. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting pay-per-view. That is for certain. I think Riddle might do. I think there's a good chance that he might do something like that. Or he might do the DDT, like the double DDT, from the ropes. So that's also a possibility. Or I might do a chicken wing if I do that. But he might do the double DDT and just smash him onto a ladder or something. That's not guaranteed. That's just me just throwing shit out there right now. But that's just fantasy booking. Yes. Cena will either show up at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. Cena has already been teased. Cena has been mentioned. If he is not at this pay-per-view, he will either turn up either on the Raw after or the SmackDown after. I feel like more the SmackDown after because there's talk of Reigns versus Cena. So there's going to be he might turn up on SmackDown. If he turns up on Raw, possibly, because this is the first Raw back in front of fans, is the Raw after Money in the Bank. So maybe Raw, but I would imagine it's more going to be that. Goldberg, I'm not sure. Goldberg, I don't think is going to turn up at Money in the Bank. If he does, he's going to be cutting a promo and fucking off. Right? My opinion with Goldberg is going to turn up on some Raw in between. Me, probably, because they like to set up the main events. they will go for Goldberg. They will go for Goldberg showing up probably on the Raw after to challenge Lashley. Because again, it's going to be spear versus spear. Even though we haven't seen Lashley do a proper spear for a while. Yeah, like just, or he's gonna go Lashley or next on the Raw after, and then fuck off, or might interrupt like the main event or something. It's Goldberg. It's what he does. He fucks up. He comes. He turns up for like 5 minutes and fucks off. Cena, yeah, Cena's out. I feel like what they might do is they might do Goldberg on the Raw and Cena on the SmackDown, possibly, unless Cena does like a promo in the bank or something like that, or they build something up towards it. So yeah, that's Money in the Bank. That's how I'm picking it. That's like what I want. If you want to know what I want, if I have a choice in who wins, like if I'm not going off like who I think will win, if I'm going off who I want to win, Lashley versus Kofi. Kofi needs another run. Kofi got wasted with the whole Lesnar thing. Kofi deserves another fucking run at that. I don't think he's going to run over Lashley, but I do think that he deserves another title run. Because how he got wasted with Lesnar was fucking shit. Reigns versus Edge. I'd love to see Edge do it. It would be the climax to this whole comeback story that he's doing. It would be a perfect fit. Would have been better for it to happen at Mania, but I'm fine with it happening here. Like this, the triple threat match between him, Daniel Bryan, all that was really fucking good. Like the way they made put Reigns over as like the ultimate heel in the company by putting them both was excellent. It was really fucking good booking. It was perfect. It was really good for it. It was a great Mania match. It was a great match, just hands down. So I agree with, but I would still like to see Edge get the title. Cena's like making a praise of the movie out. Right, Cena's filming schedule as well ties up with him coming back. They've already said that it won't interfere with him being at SummerSlam, so he's pretty much guaranteed for SummerSlam. Well, that's pretty much the point in Goldberg at this point. Goldberg is one of the guys who puts people over. He's not there to be put over. He did with Lesnar. I think that was just because they wanted to build him up against Lesnar, which was shit on KO. A whole different fucking story, though, because they shit on KO in that Universal Championship match. Beating in 8 seconds is bullshit. Well, it was 8 seconds. It was something along those lines, but it was crap. I'm fine with him being built up. I'm not okay with him going over KO the way that he did when KO had barely even had a run with that championship. Rowan's championship, yes, love to see Ripley keep it. I fucking love Rhea. I think she's really fucking good. She needs to go back to how she used to cut promos though, and stop doing it the WWE way because it makes it sound fake and it makes it sound shit. The ladder match, I think Riddle is adorable. It's hard to follow him when you hear about what potentially happened during the speaking out movement, which kind of makes me go, ooh. But I do like Riddle's character. He's very sweet. Ricochet, Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet versus John Morrison versus Riddle versus Drew McIntyre versus Big E versus Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke versus Seth. Right. They have done the Drew thing. They have done the Kevin Owens thing. Like, those stories have run their course. So, no. Rollins would be interesting because I want to see him have a feud with Reigns. I think the savagery would be fucking lit. But I don't think they're going there. However, I would like to see that. But he's not who I'd want to win because he's already had it. And the way he cashed it in was beautiful. And you can never really top that. But it would be cool to see him get that again. Well, it's your magic trick. Got it. Ricochet, I'd love to see him get a push. Morrison deserves more than what he gets because he's just put as a comic relief sidekick. I actually can't wait until Miz and Morrison finally fall out and we get a proper match between them both and Morrison gets built up. Because Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact, Johnny Retro, he's good. Like, he's really fucking good, but they make him just look overly comic relief. Oh yeah, absolutely. I am looking forward to seeing what they all do in this match. There's going to be some amazing spots. If nothing else, even if the winner isn't who any of us want, Johnny Retro, that match is going to be sick. That match is going to be fucking awesome. Yeah. So, like, Ricochet and Morrison have gone there for a while. I think they kind of, again, I think that was just hype for Money in the Bank. However, I would like to see Ricochet get a push, but I'd like to see him just kind of start a little bit of momentum first, just to get him back in the title picture. So I'd like to see him either get the Intercontinental or the US for now, and then build him up to the main event scene. Morrison, I want to see him get built up, but I feel like if you point with the whole Miz thing that happened last year, it's just going to be a repeat. Or you could have an interesting feud between Miz and Morrison build from that because Miz wants the briefcase again. I don't know. But then again, Miz is supposedly injured. I don't know how legitimate that is. Big E needs a push. But he's going back to the New Day. I'd like to see him about the New Day because they're kind of doing some stuff with him on his own, but not enough. So, who I would like to see win is Shinsuke. Because Shinsuke has pretty much disappeared from every scene. He's not really doing anything. He's doing the King thing, which is great. I don't feel like he would win over Reigns if he cashed it in. That would be my only concern. Because if he cashed in the Money in the Bank and lost it again, that would not look good. And it would potentially drop Shinsuke even further down, which could look worse. So I would like to see Shinsuke win, but I don't know if I want to see him do that or get a championship. Morrison's at this current moment in time probably have fucking water on it. Because apparently he's the most moist wrestler in the don't just know. I was saying Shinsuke, but actually I feel like they'd make him lose. So I don't think I actually want to see him win that. But Ricochet just gets slung. But Shinsuke, I think, is who I'd want to see him get it. Moist. Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross versus Liv Morgan versus Selena Vega versus Natalya versus Tamina. Right. Natalya and Tamina are currently tag champions. I don't want to see them get it yet. I would like to see a bigger push for Tamina and move her higher into the main event scene, but not yet. Liv Morgan, yes, at least she comes out looking strong in this match. I will be happy. Push straight into a title scene, no. I think we need to build up for a story yet. Asuka, she's had it for. She had it. She pretty much got the belt off it. I'd like to see her have a build-up thing where you could feel like she could like cash in at any point, but not again, not yet, not this close after the feud. And being so involved in the feud as well. Alexa, I think they need to develop the character more before she really does anything with it. I think there's some potential for some interesting stuff, but she's not really who I'd like to see get it. Not yet. Nikki, yes, I love Nikki. I don't know if she's ready for the main championship with the way that it is now, although it could be a great superhero story. So I would potentially go with her. My three that I would like to see get it are Nikki, Naomi, because fuck's sake, give her something to do. She's fucking good. And Zelina, because I think Zelina will cut some fucking great promos with it. And she can seem like she's really intimidating with it. I would be happy for that. AJ Styles versus the Viking Raiders. I'd like to see the Viking Raiders get it. I know it's who I picked, but I'd actually like to see the Viking Raiders get it because I feel like the Viking Raiders, they kind of missed out on the push because of the whole like maternity leave and then the injuries and blah 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 blah. And I think that they need something to kind of legitimize them again. If they do, they need to go somewhere with it. Plus, I'd like to see those belts get taken off Omos and AJ, and let Omos, even though I'm enjoying Omos and AJ together, I want to see Omos and AJ go their own separate ways and see what they can do on the roster as they are. I already know that AJ can excel. I'd like to see AJ go into a proper feud with somebody. And Omos, I'd like to see what he can do solo. Because he's got that attitude, he's got that size, he's got like pretty much all of it down. So I'd be really intrigued to see what he would be like solo. So I would want the Viking Raiders to win that anyway. And the Mysterios versus the Usos, I've already said I want the Usos to win because I want to see the Bloodline just dominant. I also like the idea of it causing a few for them to lose. However, right, this whole Mysterios thing, I love Ray, I love Dominic, but Dominic has been made to look so weak in comparison. Dominic needs a push, but not with Ray. Dominic needs to show that he can do this without him. I like this whole father-son thing. It's been nice. It's been lovely. The whole dream thing, I get it. It's been good. It's not been bad. But Dominic needs to be pushed on his own, or else he's just forever going to be Ray's son. And they had that chance during the Seth Rollins thing, and they never really followed through. That he kept getting beaten and getting defeated and getting knocked down and blah, blah, blah. And Dados had to come and save him and blah, 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 blah. I want to see Dom rise. I want to see him go somewhere because I feel like he can. He moves incredibly well. His speaking needs to develop. His mic skills are not the best. He's still very, yeah, and that needs to change. Well, that's the thing, though. You're all saying he's just a kid. If he started to do his own thing, you'd see him develop. You'd see him do his own stuff. You'd see him grow. Keeping him with Ray gives him no chance to do that. I want to see Ray go off and do some stuff. I don't want to see Dom flourish. I think keeping him in the tag team is holding him back. Not that Ray's holding him back as a performer. I feel like it's holding Dominic back in his progress. Dominic needs to go out there and do solo matches and start interacting with more of the roster and really starting to develop his skills. He has a chance to be a very, very good wrestler. But he's only ever going to be Ray's son if they keep him in this for too long, which they already kind of have. He's not going to be that kid who stepped up and rose up. He's just going to be that kid. He's just going to be Ray's kid. He's going to be Ray's son. And that's not okay. Like, it's good that he's Ray's kid, and he shows that he's Ray's kid in the way that he moves, the way that he does things, blah, blah, blah. And I love the fact that he's got the frog splash as a tribute to Eddie. That's great. And it's a little, like, joke around for us fans, the whole I'm your pappy thing. But at the same time, like, yeah, just let him go do his own thing. Because it almost also makes it feel like Dad has to be there with everything that he does. And I just want to see him do something more. Really, just making sure he's going to work and go through NXT or anything. Yeah, like that's obviously why he did the whole build-up thing and why they have knocked him down as far as they have and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But I think that they need to, at this point, he's been there for what, a year? I don't know, like have them go their own separate ways and put him in NXT. Put him in that brand, get him through there. Have something like that. Like, I'm up for that. I'm okay with that. But I think Ray also wants him to train with the greats and there's more legends. Well, there's not any because there are legends in NXT. There are more legends on the main roster. So I just think that at this point they need to separate them. They've done the whole family thing. They've done the championship run. They've got it. They've done it. They can say it. They did it. Great, cool, brilliant. Now let them go do what they want to do. Now let Dominic become a star in his own right. But I would like to see the Usos win. My concern is that WWE won't let them do their own stuff apart. And if they do that, then they obviously don't give a fucking shit about them. And that will be so fucking disappointing if they do that. Right. So, that is Money in the Bank done. That is what I want. That is my predictions. What's actually going to happen. But we'll see if it's that single match in the next couple of weeks, last months. Yeah. But let's hope they actually do something with that. Let's try and find somebody to raid, shall we? Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you for everyone for being here. Thank you for following. Thank you for all that. If you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, people. Come on. See you down the road, people.